Everyone glorifies ambition, but am I the only one that thinks that it's sort of a curse? It's sort of something that can just trouble your mind and cause you unnecessary stress, if not put under control. I went from being the laziest person that you would ever know in your entire life to being the most disciplined, ambitious, and having an innate self-belief that, quite frankly, I can't say anybody else I know has. And a lot of people just want to glorify having ambition and having discipline and having this uncontrollable drive to succeed. But nobody ever wants to talk about the dark side of that. Nobody ever wants to talk about the fact that sometimes it's quite literally excruciating to live like this. If I even take a break for a second, at times I will feel so guilty and feel like I am wasting my life away. Living in a cycle of having to check myself constantly that I'm not behind, that I truly am in a good position, that I am truly impacting people the way that I want to, and that I'm not some loser that's behind. And the truth is, the life for a man in 2026 has gotten so confused. Every man now just walks around thinking that they're only as valuable as what they can provide. They're only as valuable as what they can do for people. And they just think of themselves as a human transaction. And when you're truly ambitious, when you truly have that thing inside of you that won't let you do anything but chase your dream, that is amplified to the absolute max. See, people always think that once you find purpose or you find something that you truly believe in, that you want to chase, that somehow that voice goes away in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that tells you you're behind, that tells you to compare yourself to other people. People think all of a sudden when you get discipline, when you get motivation or ambition, that somehow that voice just vanishes into thin air. And the truth is, that voice literally never goes anywhere. That voice literally is always there. You just get stronger than the voice. And I know you guys are seeing this video today because you know what it's like to have an immense amount of pressure on your shoulders, and you being the one that applies the most pressure to yourself. You know what it's like to be hard on yourself about literally everything. You know what it's like to not be able to give yourself grace. And that's why I just decided to get on this video today and speak my genuine mind, speak my genuine feelings, because as somebody in their 20s trying to chase their dream, taking the actions necessary, everybody wants to appear like they're doing better than they are. Everybody's just pretending and putting out a front like, oh, this shit is all just sunshines and rainbows, when a lot of it is excruciating. A lot of it is stressful. A lot of it is you pouring everything that you possibly have into something and nothing changing for a long time. But it's also important that you realize that I made this to let you know that you're not alone and that there is people out there just like you that are going through the same thing. Because when you are ambitious and when you are actually disciplined and when you actually show up through action the way that everybody says that they will, it's extremely isolating. The more genuine you become to yourself, the more isolated you feel. The more genuine you are to your craft and your purpose, and the more that you align with yourself, the more that you become aware of your surroundings, how people think, how people behave, the more that you can see through things, the more isolated that you feel. But there's more of people like me and you than you probably think. And they feel that pain that you're going through. They feel those transitional growing pains that you feel on a daily basis, because you are working as hard as you possibly fucking can, but nothing is really coming to fruition from it. Nothing is really changing because of it. So that's why it's easy to see this vision that God has given you and this ambition as some sort of punishment or curse. But all in all, you have to realize that this was meant for you. And since it's so difficult for you, and since there's so many trials and tribulations in between you and accomplishing your dream, that means that you are meant for something more. It means that you are one of the chosen people to do things that most people could never be capable of. I'll speak for myself. I've been through an immense amount of shit throughout my life that I believe 99% of people could never prevail from, could never get through. And I know a lot of you are the same, and that's why you feel this way. That's why you have this ambition in the first place. Because God knew that there was something different about you. He gave you different capabilities. When God crafted you, He realized that you would be able to decipher the difference between pain and punishment. He would eventually give you the wisdom to be able to extract the lessons from the worst times of your life instead of pitying yourself because of it. So yes, it's difficult and it's stressful and you get stuck in your head constantly. But realize that all of these things are eventually going to turn into gifts. The struggle that you feel, the discomfort that you feel, is ultimately your biggest blessing. Because those exact things that you're going through are the exact things that are going to give you the wisdom, the strength, and the understanding to accomplish everything that you have ever envisioned.